Hey everyone. So today I'm going to show you how to set up a Bitcoin Cash node and a Bitcoin node. And this is really essential if you're solo mining, lottery mining, just because it reduces latency. And if you have like 200 milliseconds of ping, you could hit that high difficulty. It's actually been documented on a couple of forums here where people hit maybe 4T in difficulty and Bitcoin Cash, and the difficulty is only 1.12. But because their latency is so long, they don't get the reward because someone slipped under and with a lower latency was able to get the block reward. It doesn't happen often, but it does happen. So might as well just run your own Bitcoin node and Bitcoin Cash node. And the best part is you only need a PC. This is an old ProDesk HP mini PC running i5 7th gen. I don't know if you can see that. So I bought this used, and this was about $70. And all you need is this and a 1 TB NVMe SSD. This is really important because this is you want NVMe. This is the fastest write disk available right now. That's somewhat affordable. This I picked up for $100. So overall, your setup could be 170. Personally, I am running a Nook Skull Canyon, which is really big back in the day. But since it's been a couple of years, I was able to pick it up for 16 gigabytes of RAM and a terabyte SSD for 130 on eBay. The biggest thing is 1 TB. Recommend you get 16 gigs of RAM, but you can do with 8 gigs as well. And a Ethernet connection is recommended. So what you'll need today is your mini PC of choice. I'll link a couple in the description of the different type that I look for. There's the Optiplex, there's the ProDesk, and I think there's a Lenovo ThinkCenter. Really cheap PCs, but they'll get the job done. NVMe, any brand, doesn't matter as long as there's terabyte or more. We will be pruning our nodes just because it's faster to sync them, and I'll show you all that, what that means for the Bitcoin Cash node. It takes about a couple hours to sync up. The Bitcoin node takes a couple of days to sync up, even when pruning it, and we'll walk through all that. And you'll need a USB stick. This is a 16 gig stick. You can get away with a 8 gigabyte stick. The file itself, or the image for UmbrelOS, which we're going to be running our Bitcoin Cash node and Bitcoin node on, is only about 3 gigs. So let's go ahead and install this. So for this one, this main PC, there's a screw on the back, and you simply, oh gosh. So I was sliding backwards when I should be sliding forward. There we go. Just that. Okay, so this NVMe is going to go right in here. Or I think, yeah, right here. You got the space right there. All right, now that we got that all ready, go ahead and close it up. Sliding back. Lock this in. All right, so the first thing we're going to want to do is go to the Umbrella website. Let's do that. And this is the software we're going to use to host the Bitcoin Cash node and the Bitcoin node. So if you scroll down, it should be somewhere over here. UmbrelOS. And we don't need any hardware since we already keep scrolling. And I'll have a link to this in the description. Did I pass it? Where is it? And since we are going to be we're using a old mini PC running on an Intel chip, that's going to be x86. Pretty much if you have any AMD or Intel chip, it's going to be an x86. If you have a Raspberry Pi, you can go ahead and select the Raspberry Pi option. We have this, so we're going to click on that. And then it kind of walks you through the instructions. So here we're going to go and click this to get the USB installer. Go ahead and click allow, and this will download. So the other piece of software we're going to need is this same thing right here, Balena Etcher. So this will create, you're downloading a image file, and this will allow you to write the image file to your USB stick. Sounds complex, it isn't that complex. It will walk through the process. It's really not that bad. So let's go ahead and click this link, and I'll link this in the description. Go ahead and click download Etcher. I already have this downloaded, but once you have it downloaded, go ahead and open up and go through the setup of installing it. All right, finally downloaded. So I'm gonna go ahead and type in Etcher, and that should pop this up. So from here, go ahead and select that file. And then the target for me is gonna be my USB stick that I have plugged in, which is a 32 gig. You only need about 8 gigs for this. Click select, and then click flash. So this will start flashing. This will take a while. Once it gets to 100%, it'll let you know that you can remove the USB, and then we're done with the computer for here. The next part is going to be on the actual mini PC itself. So we'll go ahead and transition over there. All right, now we're going to want to go ahead and hook this up. So if you get the screen, don't be scared. That just means once you have everything plugged in, we got the stick, the keyboard, and power, and display. So this just means that you didn't spam F8 or F10 based on if you have a Dell, HP, or Lenovo fast enough, and so you got this screen. So all you have to do is just restart and try again. So we're going to select number 2 because this is our terabyte NVMe. So we're going to press 2, and then it'll go ahead and start to install. All right, so now that it is finished installing, you'll see this message here that says UmbrelOS has been installed. So what we're going to do is now we're going to turn this off and press any key to shut down, but be sure to remove the USB drive before shutting down. So you want to have this installed via Ethernet somewhere, so it can be right next to your modem or router or switch. Have this plugged in, and then next we can go on any computer and just go to, I think it's umbrel.local or local.umbrel. I'll have it up on the screen what it actually is. And then we'll continue the rest of the setup and install Bitcoin Cash and Bitcoin. So let's go to the computer. Right. So now that we have Umbrel installed on the machine, you can go to any computer, any laptop, any mobile device, and just while you're connected to the same network as where you have your mini PC plugged into via Ethernet. You can go to umbrel.local and then do backslash, and you'll be welcomed with this page here. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to show you guys that same PC because I already have, this is my node that I have running, and you can't run two at the same time or have two plugged in to Umbrel servers because it just messes up the DNS and it doesn't work properly. So I'll be showing you guys how to add the apps. It'll be the same process. So once you have this, you won't have these apps here, AXBCH and AXBTC, which is our nodes that we're going to use. To get these, you're going to go down here, this little, I guess it looks like a shopping bag. Click on that, go to this corner right here, click on Community App Store, and then I will have this link in the description, and we're going to click Add. And so now that you have it added, it'll show up as Added Community App, and you click Open. And here you can download all these tools. Axbench and AxLive are kind of management tools, kind of like Hashwatcher. And you have Axsim, which kind of simulates some of the frequency and voltage if you were wanting to do some more playing around with the hash rates and see what you can achieve there. But we want to focus on AXBTC and AXBCH. You can also download AXDGB. To get any of these, you simply just click on it and then click install. I already have the ones that I want to have installed here. So you'll be welcomed with these apps. It'll be fairly quick to download. I will give you a heads up. AXBTC, which is your Bitcoin node, is going to take, it's not going to immediately show synchronized. It'll start syncing up as soon as you open it up, and it will take about 3 or 4 days to sync up. But the first thing you want to do is we want to run a NOTS version. We don't want to run, also known as a pruned version. We want to run the whole node itself. So you can, but it takes up a lot of space. And the difference is if you don't run prune node, then you have all the transactions that ever occurred since the very first Bitcoin transaction happened. So it's pretty much a ledger of all that. I love that. There's online sources for that. I am using my node strictly for lottery mining, and I want to save storage. So I'm going to prune my node. And to do that, you want to click Bitcoin NOTs here as I have selected. It will be, by default, it will be selected on Bitcoin Core. And then you just want to put the number in. I put 550. I believe this is just the target space that you want to allocate for the prune node. So I put 550 megabytes, and then it'll start pruning from there. And then you can put your address down here. Actually, you need to put your address down here, your Bitcoin address, and then click save. As it says, after saving, you just want to restart the app and it'll save your settings. Everything else here is just done by default. I'll also show AXBCH, which is our Bitcoin Cash node. This can be very similar. One thing to note is I think it prunes by itself, or there should have been an option here for pruning. Maybe there wasn't. But one thing to note, maybe Bitcoin Cash comes already pruned. I'm not sure, but it was fairly quick. This happened in a couple 9-10 hours, I believe, or a day max to catch up and sync with everything. This payout address, you can have a Bitcoin Cash wallet address, but when you type it into here, it will convert it into legacy Bitcoin Cash. And you can use this little tool to verify that the address you have actually is correct. So when you type in your actual Bitcoin Cash address, whether you get that from Robinhood, whether you get that from your Ledger, private wallet, you can paste it here and it'll convert it into a legacy address. And that's what the Bitcoin Cash node will use. And so this is my actual address converted into a legacy address. And so once you enter that in, go ahead and click Save Pool Settings. The other cool thing here is I haven't really messed around with this, but based on your terahash, your total terahash of your setup, you can choose these different options, and it'll when selecting these, like right now we have 16 as start difficulty, 1 as min, max difficulty as 0. If you do, because I'm running about 33 terahashes, you can see the minimum difficulty increase and start difficulty increase. I haven't changed this. I should probably play around with it and benchmark it. I just haven't had the time to do that yet. But you can do that if you want. Um, I don't believe it makes a difference, but to each his own. So yeah, once all those are synced up in a day, Bitcoin in about 2 or 3 days, you can go ahead and go to, let's actually do this. So if you go down here, if this might show your IP, it may not, but to find out your Umbrel IP, you're just going to go over to settings, and then you'll see your IP right there. And so when you're going to the miners, you want to point, or you go to your pool settings, you just want to type in, if you're on BitAxe, you don't have to type in the Stratum TCP. Our address was 192.1.68 dot whatever dot whatever, 2 dots, I think it's semicolon, and then the port number, and then that's all you do. And so the worker name is just going to be your address, and then dot is, and you can name it anything, and your password is going to be anything, and that's how you set it up. I can show you an example here. So if I go to 192.168.28, I think is a miner on my network. Maybe that's too generous. Maybe I should do 4.2. Okay, so here we have my IP address, which this matches my IP address of my Umbrella server. What tells it that it is the Bitcoin Cash server that I'm mining on is this port, and this port is right here, 4567. The port should be the same for everyone. Your IP will definitely be different. And then user is going to be your legacy Bitcoin Cash address, dot, whatever you want to name it. Password can literally be anything. And then click save and restart. For Avalon Nanos and the Avalon series, that is going to be, where am I going? That is going to be, you do have to include the Stratum plus TCP, and there'll be your IP, colon, port number, and then payout address. Bitcoin, same thing. Down here, it's just going to be IP dot or colon, and the port is going to be different, and that's how it knows to do Bitcoin or Bitcoin Cash. So I have some of my machines pointed towards this, doing Bitcoin, and then I have some of them pointed towards Bitcoin Cash. Okay. And that's it. Congratulations, you're running your own node. You have lower latency now, and you have, in my opinion, you have a higher chance of hitting a block. Subscribe for more videos. I got some more cool stuff coming up. I have the poor man's Avalon Cube that I'm going to build, which does 35 to 40 terahashes for around under 850 watts for a total cost of under $400, more likely $300 to $400. I have that build coming up. I have some scripts that I'm building for the Bitcoin BitAxe Gammas, which will reduce the cost of electricity each day based on peak hours. So I got some cool stuff coming up. Go ahead and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.